have you come across the idol which is featured in this piece of artwork? This statue represents a prominent character among 7 lucky gods of Taoism and Japanese mythology, widely known as Buddha. In line with aesthetic beliefs, Buddha is a divine form in whom are vested the discretion and abilities to grant wealth and prosperity. However, due to lack of knowledge or exposure to cultures and beliefs of the Far East, people from the Western Hemisphere usually misinterpret, misidentify or confuse this Buddha with the Gautama Buddha, the universally acknowledged enlightened being. This is an understandable phenomenon. However, as Buddhists, it's not right for us to leave them to their misconceptions. It should be an utmost duty of ours to clear this misidentification factor by correcting them on the distinction between the Buddha and Buddha. Yet, this is not the most devastating factor of the hour. There are some amongst ourselves belonging to our own social segment who are presently being misled by the same form of confusion. This, my friends, is a grave concern, and it should be a grave concern. For those who are genuinely concerned about identity of Buddhism, preservation and continuing existence of this truthful form of science, we witness an alarming trend of Buddhists worshipping or treating the statue of Buddha in equal resemblance to the Buddha. This poses a direct pragmatic threat to Shraddha, or the absolute trust Buddhists levy in the Buddha. For any religious philosophy to succeed, the image of its supreme most preacher, teacher and leader should comprise of glittering personality and characteristics. Now, it's quite obvious to you that dwarfish and plump physical appearance depicted by the statue of Buddha does not carry the iconic personal features anyone could expect from a whole and wisdom-filled personnel as the Buddha. Thus, if there is a time to come in which the Kanishka design formation of the Buddha statue is to be replaced with that of Buddha, it is needless to highlight the extensive and irreversible damage it would cause on the reputation and personality of Gautama Buddha. Sadly, this replacement is rapidly taking shape even among the Buddhist community. The unsubstantiated and unsolicited myth of Feng Shui is now widely in practice even in Buddhist Sri Lanka. This fact can be clearly observed in business institutions and households at a rapid increment in number of observers. Under the guise of purely baseless aspects and rules forming in from Feng Shui promotions, the statue of Buddha has begun to invade spaces which were earlier reserved for proper Buddha statues. The biggest disasters that could happen are, of course, the registration of these mythical beliefs in a society which is already burdened with an uncalculated number and range of superstition, and Buddhist children identify statue of Buddha as that of their great teacher, the Buddha. The latter could spell devastating for the Buddha Sasana, for Shraddha, the first step in the journey to Nirvana, or the ultimate bliss, will be seriously harmed. Once the image of the Buddha is harmed in the hearts and minds of Buddhist children, who are the future of Buddha Sasana. Further, non-Buddhists who are with obedience to other faiths do have a certain degree of respect and honor towards the great personality Gautama Buddha possesses. Any replacements of Buddha replica to that of the Buddha could decimate such a respect Buddhism and its great universal teacher get from believers of other faiths. Know it that they would always be watching. There is so much that we care. Thus, I implore you, in the name of Buddha Sasana, so protected with sweat and toil, and the name of your own children, to come to a proper understanding on the situation and refrain from treating this fat and plump statue of Buddha as that of Gautama Buddha. For the sake of your future and your children's future as Buddhists, please be informed, please be aware, please be updated. Buddhists all around the world, treat this as your resolute responsibility to clear the fog of doubt and misconception in hearts and minds of those who are around you. Dear non-Buddhist listeners, it's time for you to diminish on your own misidentification as well. Disciples of other faith as you are, you have a certain degree of respect towards the personality of Gautama Buddha. Do not let it be destroyed by the mere sight of a dwarfish and plump mythical god called Buddha, who does not have any virtual or theoretical resemblance to the Buddha. For the sake of all beings on earth and beyond, I shall declare with utmost responsibility that neither the statue nor the beliefs of Buddha have any form of connection whatsoever to any branch of Buddhism, be it may therovada form or Mahayana. I repeat, the statue of Buddha or any beliefs annexed to which does not have any connection whatsoever to Gautama Buddha, the supreme most teacher of Buddhism, or to any branch of the Buddhism in practice.